you're looking for the most effective email strategy to grow your recruiting business and to stay engaged and top of mind to both your clients and candidates, by the end of this video, I'm going to show you how we do emailing strategies the relevant recruiter way. Now, what I'm about to share with you is exactly how Katie Kelly used this strategy just a couple of weeks ago to pick up, 9 simple orders from one simple email campaign. This is exactly proven strategy that I've used for several of my clients using the relevant recruiter method and that have been through the relevant recruiter program. But before we get into the strategy, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, as I'm dropping new videos every single Monday and Thursday, all for staffing and recruiting businesses, all about online marketing, lead generation, and using more modern sourcing techniques. So there are basically 5 tips that I'm going to lay out for you here to become an effective email marketer. The first tip is, don't be one of those people that just scrapes and gets data everywhere and then continually put those people through email campaigns. Now, the reason I say don't do that is because that's what everybody else does. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't leverage scraping tools and gather data, but what I'm saying is that you need to be focused, know how you're gathering that data, and have an end goal for the person that's going on to your email campaign. What I mean by an end goal is, normally what I try to do is get somebody onto an email campaign that I can eventually nurture with my value. Okay. And so what I'm more looking for is people that are opted in. That's why having a good lead magnet, a free resource, or taking anybody that you've worked with in the past, or anybody that said, hey, John, reach back out in Q2, and putting them on a list. And that's the list you want to stay most top of mind of, because you really want to be reaching out and reacting to people and connecting with people that want to hear from you, rather than constantly pounding down the doors from others that don't. And when you're reaching out to a bunch of people that want to hear from you, your delivery rate of your email goes up, your response rate of your email goes up, and your revenue goes up. So that's the importance of having a very segmented list, being very targeted, and not just taking any email from anywhere, because ultimately that's going to damage your email domain and you're going to have tons of challenges getting your email sent and delivered. Okay. The next thing you want to do is keep it personal. And what I mean by this is really 2 things. One, you want to keep it personal by making sure that you're always using the person's first name and making sure that you're talking specifically to a very segmented list and audience. Like I was saying with tip 1, is that if you're the more segmented your audience is, then we can personalize our emails. We can make those emails more customized to those individuals. But the second way is to personalize the email is just in the format of the actual email that you send. A common mistake that I see people make and recruiting companies make is they go with the old newsletter style. And that's fine, but the newsletter style seems corporate. And what really is effective, especially if you're a boutique agency or an independent recruiter, is making that newsletter seem personalized. Because I think the biggest mistake people make about email, or the thing that they forget, is that you're trying to build a relationship and connect. And when I'm sending an email specific to somebody and it's very targeted and it's very personal and it doesn't look like a newsletter, then it looks like I'm really trying to connect with that individual and have a conversation with that individual. And so that's the next tip, is make sure that you keep it personalized, keep it valuable. I always work on an 80-20 rule, and that is 80% of the time I want to create and add value to my email list. 20% of the time I'm going to ask with some sort of an offer that I have, whether it's to get on the phone or join a webinar or another special promotion I have. But 80% of the time, I want to be sharing different types of value. I want to be sharing different types of wins. I want to be sharing how I've helped and helped other people, whether they're clients or candidates, become successful. So think about value as you nurture your lists and continue to engage with people. Okay. And the next tip is make it frequent. Okay. A lot of people come into this thing, well, I don't want to be too annoying. Well, that's fine. And you can find your own cadence, but just keep in mind, there's somebody out there that's probably more aggressive than you are. And if they've found that really good a balance of being aggressive, but also not annoying, they're going to win more business than you. And most people go into this, well, I'm going to send an email to my database once a month. Okay. Well, let me just walk you through that. How many times have people picked up a new job or decided to hire somebody, and you decided to reach out once a month, and they decided to hire this person at the beginning of the month, and you ran your email campaign at the end of the month? Well, you're not going to get that business. You've just missed out on a timing and a frequency thing. The next point I'll bring up is, how many times do you actually send an email and nobody ever sees it, right? Because of junk and spam, and those things actually happen. And then somebody sees the email, but they're busy in their day and they move on. Well, that's the importance of having frequency. If I were to say that, hey, 50% of your emails are going to go into spam, then I would need to at least email my list twice a month to make sure I'm getting delivery at least once. So keep in mind to crank up the frequency. And if you're adding value, you can be more frequent. And then the last tip is have fun with it. Create your own little series, create your own little, tips and tricks and a brand and an email series that people can kind of buy into, so that they're looking at something that's a little bit fun, that's a little bit different. It's not just a standard newsletter coming off, or it's just not another email. It's your tips and tricks and something that you can brand around yourself. So those are the 5 tips that I recommend to grow your recruiting business using email the relevant recruiter way. Hey, again, subscribe to this channel if you liked what I had to say. I would be curious in the comments below, what ways are you using and leveraging email? And what have you found to be the most effective way to leverage email to get new clients or get new candidates? But this is Donnie Gupton. We'll see you in the next one. Talk soon.